Well, good morning, everybody, from Dominion, Nova Scotia. It's day 3 of the 2026 Nova Scotia Under-15 AA Provincial Hockey Championships. And it's the Battle of Cape Breton to kick things off here on this Saturday morning. The Cape Breton County Islanders fighting for their season against the tournament's top-ranked team and the hosts, the Glace Bay Miners. My name is Luke Diamond, and you're watching High Button Sports, the first of 3 round-robin games here on Saturday with provincial crossover and championship implications on the line as we see who will make it into the final dance tomorrow morning. Only 4 of 7 teams will make it to tomorrow. The Glace Bay Miners will be one of them. Today they are fighting for the top seed in tomorrow's crossover games. They're undefeated so far here in the tournament, 3-0, 6 points. We will see them again. The Cape Breton County Islanders, they will need at least a point to stay alive and to improve their odds of making it into Sunday. They would go for the win here against Glace Bay. Only 3 points separating these teams in the Cape Breton Conference standings in the Scotia Hockey League this season. But County has taken their last 3 meetings, so they have a bit of mojo of their own going in, but the Miners have been a machine here at home here this weekend, taking control of their first 3 games. So a big one set up here between these two clubs. Later today, after this one, the Halifax Hawks and Bedford Blues will play at 12 o'clock here in Dominion. There will be a skills competition amongst the tournament's players at 2 p.m. And the Dartmouth Whalers and Pictou County Crushers will close out round-robin action here at 4 o'clock. All that action and tomorrow's crossover and gold medal games here on High Button Sports all weekend long, as the teams are gathering up around their net before we get going here in this highly anticipated one here between these two Cape Breton representatives at the provincial championships. Both of them a real chance into making it into Sunday, which would be a treat for sure for the local hockey fans who have filled up the Dominion Arena here. It's not the biggest arena in the world. As we've seen here this tournament, the ice is smaller than usual, smaller than regulation. It's made for some fast and back and forth hockey all weekend. And also a smaller space here in the building for the fans to cram into, as you can hear here right now as we're set up here in the booth just above the Glace Bay cheering section. They have showed up in droves this weekend supporting their team, and the same can be said about the County Islanders making their way up from the Sydney area, only about 20 minutes away here from the Dominion Arena, to support their team. As we will line up at center ice, the County Islanders in the blue and red to your left, and the Glace Bay Miners to your right in the white uniforms. Joey Sylvester gets the start for the Miners. Meanwhile, Anakin Sillaboy back in between the pipes for the Cape Breton County Islanders as we're underway here in the Battle of Cape Breton. The Islanders will take it into the zone here to start with a big hit off the play with the Islanders in there to throw the body as that puck ricocheted out front, as William Koschel getting physically involved as well as offensively, letting that puck fly just wide of Joey Sylvester's post, as the Glace Bay Miners will settle things down in the neutral zone. Caught in there on the backhand, that's Bertram Gold trying to escape a 2-man Islanders forecheck here in the first minute of play here in Glace Bay. Caught him behind the goal now is Miles Majic, going to make that outlet pass, and the Miners with a couple of good dishes to get it out. Matthew Hutt, the team captain, cuts through the middle, and that's steered aside by Anakin Sillaboy. His first action of the day for the Islanders. Rebound bounces out to Hutt, tries to cut into the slot area once again, but now the Islanders will have a little bit of time space to get out. There's Rowan Carmichael, the captain for Cape Breton County. Won Player of the Game honors in last night's tie game against the Bedford Blues. A huge point for Cape Breton County. Otherwise, the odds would have been even more against them here in this game as they fight for their lives here in their final round-robin game, and a chance to play here tomorrow in the Sunday morning crossovers. That's paddled aside there. Joey Sylvester sharp on that one. Turned aside into the corner to his right. County Islanders with a couple of good shifts here to start the hockey game, as they'll get the pressure on down low. Matthew Hutt caught out there on a long change for the Glace Bay Miners, and his pass misses. Peyton McKenzie up the skate. He had a goal last night in the Bedford Blues game. McKenzie will swing wide, turns on the Jets, but is steered off to the perimeter there by a pair of Miners players. Hutt will curl around and try to escape the pressure on foot. He's going to leave it off for his teammate, and the Miners will gain the blue line, but it's dumped down the ice a little too harshly and on the wrong side of center, and Glace Bay will ice the puck. 12:46 to go here. County Islanders keeping Sylvester busy to start off this hockey game. Draw will come to his left down in Glace Bay territory. Brandon Dulesky in to take the draw in the O-zone for Cape Breton County. He had the tying goal in last night's game against Bedford. The Islanders were trailing in that one. Tied it up with 7 left, and the rebound ricocheted out front, picked up by McKenzie at the line. Big block by the Miners, and numbers the other way. Here comes Glace Bay. Jonas Surratt scores! The partial breakaway, and he picks the blocker of Syllaboy to open the scoring for Glace Bay. And one of the driving forces behind this Glace Bay Miners tournament, Jonas Surratt, striking early here in the final round-robin game. 2.5 minutes in to give the Miners the lead. And it's Surratt who's going to win that face-off. McLean pinched up there along the wall in the neutral zone. Tight checking game in the middle of the ice, as we've seen all weekend. Luke Robertson races in behind the net and will get the puck back for County. Brandon Dulesky takes off up there in a 2-on-2 with Leland McDonald, pardon me. As Dulesky's shot cutting in toward the middle of the ice is up off a stick shaft and out of play. So another draw inside the Glace Bay Miners zone. That's where most of the play has been so far, but just moments ago, Jonas Surratt on the breakaway beats Anakin Syllaboy to open the scoring for the Glace Bay Miners here early in this Battle of Cape Breton. Turned aside by Joey Sylvester, a perimeter shot from Dulesky. Almost bounced back to him, out on that line with Ronan McLean. It's brought up the center where Carmichael will settle it down. Being chased there by Colby Kaiser, who will hold the line for Glace Bay. Now Surratt will look at his options and go for a wheel in behind the net and around the edge. It's Drew McPhee rather, the big forward for Glace Bay. Has to retreat all the way to his own zone. It's gone up for Matthew Hutt. Hutt gains the line onside, cuts to the middle, couldn't let the shot go, and McPhee couldn't handle it either. And McDonald is checked in the middle, and a breakaway for Ross. Tried to go down low, Sylvester through the crease, rebound to McKenzie, didn't get to him. Good opportunity the other way for the County Islanders rather, after a Miners player threw a huge hit in the neutral zone to open up that ice. Dumped down in the corner, Colby Kaiser, the lead forward checker, handled well by the County Islanders defenseman, but he took a tumble and lost it. McPhee out front, Syllaboy with a couple of big saves there at point-blank range as McPhee was jamming for it. The Miners will get a couple of changes in. Miles Majic trying to escape pressure, pursued by a trio of County Islanders there. He's going to punch it into the County Islanders zone, and it's rimmed up along the close side wall as play will continue. Donald gets that down the ice, and Kojal giving chase. But it'll be an icing call against Cape Breton County here with 10:37 to go here in the first period of this one. Surratt, the goal scorer, is out there to take the draw to the right of Anakin Syllaboy. O-zone opportunity here for the Glace Bay Miners. And it is won back by Dulesky for Cape Breton County, but it's right at Syllaboy, so they'll repeat the draw with just a second taken off the clock. Dulesky and Surratt will repeat the face-off. It's won back by Dulesky once more in the D-zone. Rimmed around the far side boards where Chason picked it up as a whistle goes, but Syllaboy's net becomes dislodged. during the play. So face-off likely coming back inside the Islanders zone. So Dulesky and Surratt will repeat a face-off again. Dulesky's won both of them so far and wins a third. Kick back to Rowan Carmichael and taken away by Surratt and behind the net. Surratt gets a shove there from Carmichael. Center! Scores! And a loose puck in front! And Glace Bay goes up two! And the right place at the right time. Spencer Melski puts it behind Syllaboy. And twice in the game's first 5 minutes, Glace Bay scores. And they're up 2-0. Matthew Hutt in the face-off against Dulesky at center ice. And the crowd is loud and proud here in Dominion. Here is the host team, Glace Bay, with a strong start here against their cross-CBRM rivals here in Dominion. And the Bay took it right back in, now to the blue line, and returned to Julian on the Cape Breton County side of the ice. Thrown up through the middle and handled by Chason and thrown into the corner. Giving chases Dallin Campbell. Dulesky centering in front of the net. Chason couldn't handle it, and Dulesky throws it and turns it over to Chason. Baxter trying to knock that out of harm's way for the Glace Bay Miners. Spencer Baxter threw it back to his defenseman and around the net past Matthew Hutt. All the way back is the winger there, Duncan McKinnon, and as it's tipped up and over the net as Cape Breton County got a shot in toward the net. 9:20 to play here in the period as both Robertson and Dulesky went down in a single collision inside the Glace Bay Miners zone. Some tired forwards out there for County will change up. The Bay will slow things down in their own zone as Matthew Hutt worked it out the center. It's a bouncing puck in the neutral zone near the center ice circle. Hutt heads to the bench, as will a couple of other Miners players, and slowed down by Rowan Carmichael in his own end. It's a saucer pass over the stick of Leland McDonald. McPhee tried to enter the zone again for the Miners. A little bit of hot potato in between these two teams. Possession going back and forth. Picked up through the middle of the ice by Jacob Ross. Ross curls off to the right side. Tried to find McDonald waiting in the slot area, but taken away by the Miners. Drew McPhee will go for a skate. Surrounded there by a pair of Islanders and poked ahead and out of danger by Ross. Nobody could hang on to it there as Kaiser tried to slow it down. Dangles his way around McLean in front of the Glace Bay net. McLean had it in his feet there again. It's a little bit of sloppiness here from both teams. Slowing down the puck, or attempting to anyway, as Julian will take it himself up through center. Down into the corner, retrieved by Blake Graham. The Glace Bay Miners defenseman makes the outlet pass and takes it back again after it missed. Dulesky chasing him down on the forecheck. Fresh legs off the bench for Glace Bay. That's Cooper Zylstra. Up the boards on the yellow bumper to the close side. Up for Dulesky, takes the pass up the middle of the ice, red line in blue, tries to toe drag his way up through the middle and is tripped up. So that'll be a penalty coming up against the Glace Bay Miners. And for the first time this morning, the Cape Breton County Islanders will go to the power play with 7:28 to go here in the first period. 2-0 to score for Glace Bay on High Button Sports. Draw will come to the right of Joey Sylvester in the Glace Bay zone. Cam Ferguson sitting for 2 minutes or less for Glace Bay. Guilty of a tripping call. Ronan McLean steps in to take the face off and gets it on his stick. Works it back to the line. Riley Julian punches it down low for the County Islanders power play. Back up for McLean, who tries to fork it back to Julian. Some discombobulation going on along the far side of the ice. And Peyton McKenzie will have to retreat from pressure and behind his own net. McKenzie takes off through the neutral zone. Red line, then blue. Into the zone will get things set up for the County Islanders. Rowan McLean drops it for McKenzie, jamming away in front of the net. And it is handled by Joey Sylvester, who had a pair of County Islanders jamming at it between his pads, but holds on for the whistle. Minute 29 remaining on the County Islanders power play after the Glace Bay Miners took a tripping penalty. It's won back by the Miners in their own zone, and they'll send it down to 200 feet. Over his net to tee it up for his defenseman was the goaltender Sillaboy. It's McKenzie behind the net with it, dropping it for Dulesky. Here goes Brandon Dulesky up through the neutral zone, picks up some speed and tries to drag that through the legs of the defender Miles Majic, who makes a nice block on the pads. County Islander takes a tumble in front of the net. McKenzie for Dulesky, and a screen goalie stopped it as Sylvester managed to get a body on that. Dulesky cross ice, shot! Oh, what a block! Excellent defensive acumen from Jonas Surrett to get the body in front of that one. And the Miners not afraid to block the shots here on this penalty kill. 6:18 to go here in the first frame. And another 50 seconds to go in the Miner penalty to Ferguson from Glace Bay. Draw will come to the right of Sylvester. Second unit power play now out there for the Cape Breton County Islanders. Sent into the corner by McDonald. Giving chase was Luke Robertson. Him and McDonald were going back and forth, but that is stripped by Surrett and sent down the length of the ice. First man there for the Miners, Spencer Milski, who almost took it off the stick of Sillaboy, but he got it out of danger at the last second. Now skating down the ice with it and establishing the zone entries, Kojal. Kojal at the top of the circle, blocker side and turned away by Joey Sylvester. And sent up through the middle again. That's going to hop over the stick of William Kojal. He'll have to come back to his own end to pick it up with 8 seconds to go on the Glace Bay penalty. Just about to return to 5-on-5 action here. Leland McDonald will gain the opposing blue line, tries to let the wrister go, loses a handle and goes for the centering pass, and the fifth man is back out on the ice for Glace Bay as a change was being made. Kobe Kaiser stepped out onto the ice, but instead Kojal will settle it down in his own end for the County Islanders. So a big first period penalty kill here for the Miners, and they stay in the lead by 2 goals. Kojal picks it off at center and takes a bump from Kaiser. And there's going to be a whistle in behind the play after the late shenanigans. It's a head contact call. And it does look like the Glace Bay Miners will sit for another 2 minutes here. Kobe Kaiser threw a hit on Kojal behind the play, maybe a little too high according to the official. So that's going to be another minor penalty in quick succession charged to Glace Bay. And back to the power play of the Islanders with the shot after they won the draw. Got a quick attempt in as Carmichael skated in to pick up the loose puck. Peyton McKenzie threw it to Dulesky to his right shoulder. Skate to the top of the circle. Back to McKenzie at the top of the umbrella. Far side, the shot scores! Power play goal for the Cape Breton County Islanders, and they'll cut the lead to 1. The defenseman Riley Julian puts it past the blocker side of Joey Sylvester, and the passing play pays off for the County Islanders, and they are on the board here late in the first period. We'll get the draw at center ice. So 2 straight games with a power play goal for the County Islanders in this tournament, trying to fight their way back here after giving up an early deficit to Glace Bay. Trying to curl away from pressure, that's Cam Ferguson, the defenseman. Ferguson will get it up the middle and picked up by Matthew Hutt. Hutt will go in 1-on-3 with another man up with him, charging toward the net. That's Jonathan McLean parked in the net front area. Rimmed up along the boards where Keegan Lane Constantino was pressured there from behind by Duncan McKinnon of the Miners. Unable to get it out on the other side either was County. It's returned to the corner. Sillaboy went way out of his net to slide that to the corner. As McKenzie retrieves in behind his net, he will airlift that one down the length of the ice. Does not touch anybody. And it'll be an icing call against some tired Cape Breton County Islanders players. 3:50 go in the first period. A goal from Riley Julian cuts the lead to 1 here on High Button Sports. And the face-off is won in the O-zone by Glace Bay. And Sillaboy will corral that up as he slid across, battling some traffic. So we'll get another face-off in the same spot as 3 seconds before. Shot from the point came from Miles Majic. It's another tie-up off the face-off, and that time County head won it, but could clear the zone, and they score! A favorable bounce for Glace Bay, up over the shoulder of Sillaboy, and the Miners restore their 2-goal lead in the first. And first on the flyby, Jonas Surrett, his second of the first period. What a goal-scoring machine that Surrett has been this weekend for the Glace Bay Miners. Shot from the point, it looked like it originated off the tape of Bertram Gold. And it is off Surrett and into the net. A rapid change of direction on Sillaboy. That's tough for any goalie to stop. And it worked out perfectly for the Miners off that face-off win. And they'll get another O-zone face-off coming up. To the right this time of the County Islanders net. Surrett still out there on the ice. In to take the draw against Dulesky. It's won back by Dulesky for the Islanders, who will rim it hard along the boards. Looks like it'll be an icing call against the County Islanders. So we'll repeat the D-zone draw in the same place. Instead, it'll come to the far side of the ice. But again in the Islanders zone. Drew McPhee hopping out there to take the offensive zone face-off for the Miners. It's won back by Dulesky for Cape Breton. He's been good in the face-off circle here early in this game for County. Backhand attempt up the wall by Carmichael is stifled by Colby Kaiser. Kaiser will work that low for Hutt. Hutt bumped off the puck there by Carmichael and skates through the check. Will play it up to the point. Bertram Gold. Shot! A heavy one and a steady one will float just past the blocker of Sillaboy and wide. Hits a body in front. Hutt hustles after it, but gets to Robertson. Is chipped up the wall. Now Jansen Chason goes after it. Then the reverse pass was behind Dulesky the other way as Chason is slow to get up in the corner as he is rubbed out along the wall by a Glace Bay Miners player. And a whistle will finally go as Jansen Chason is on one knee over in the corner. He's up to his feet and skating under his power, which is a good sign. There's no arms in the air after the collision. So it appears we'll stay at 5-on-5. 2:39 on the clock. Glace Bay just now restoring their 2-goal lead. Another goal from Jonas Surrett. That time on the deflection from the point to make it 3-1 Glace Bay. And the Miners win the draw in the neutral zone. It's picked up off the middle. William Kojal will skate in and lets a rocket go from the face-off circle and is going to miss the net. Julian, the goal scorer for County, will retrieve it and goes D to McKenzie. On the clear attempt, and it's a hit in front of the County bench, and the arm goes right up there, and the Glace Bay Miners will go back to the penalty box here, their third penalty of the first frame on a hit there from Drew McPhee. It's an interference call according to the referee. Should just be a double minor there. But another power play opportunity here for the County Islanders. They just scored on their last power play opportunity, the Riley Julian goal, early in their second attempt of the period. Brandon Dulesky and the top unit for County will head out here on the ice for the Islanders. And it's won back by Dulesky. The winger overskated it, so Julian has to pinch in. And Carmichael holding that left wing side. The County captain shakes off his man, and the pass attempt fanned and will give it away to Glace Bay. Clearing attempt here is executed successfully off the tape of Mason Reed and down the ice. McKenzie, first man back for the County Islanders. He's going to take off through the neutral zone. Peyton McKenzie goes in one-on-one. Backhand attempt. Up and over the net. A great individual effort, but the shot is wide. Riley Julian goes cross ice for Dulesky. He'll handle it at the top of the close side circle. Going in one-on-one. Didn't see a shooting lane. He'll play it to Julian. Riley Julian will move to the top of the umbrella. And the shot through the middle of the slot is off a stick blade and over the net. That's recovered by Carmichael. Dulesky for the Islanders on the close side wall. Skating off the hash marks. Lets it go down low. Rebound right in the middle of the ice from Matthew Hunt. Retrieves it for the Glace Bay Miners and sends it down the length of the ice. All four Miners will change on the penalty kill. 50 seconds to go on the penalty to McPhee. And Dulesky will take off from in behind his own goal. Across his own blue line and across the other. Dulesky in on the backhand side. Has to curl off. Is pursued there by Blake Graham. Curls back and goes to Julian. Return pass to Dulesky and a stoppage of play as the net is dislodged in behind Joey Sylvester. So a much needed break here for the penalty killers, who also just got some fresh legs out there. And we'll get a face-off inside the Glace Bay zone to the right of Sylvester. Final minute of play here in the first period. 49.8 on the clock here in Dominion. Big face-off here. It's won back by the Islanders. McLean got it to his defense. Over on the far side is Leland McDonald trying to shake his coverage. Goes to the close side for William Kojal. Loses the shooting lane. He had to look for a second. It's off the stick shaft and out of the zone just enough to the center ice logo. And the Islanders have to touch up here at the blue line. Kojal steps across the line. Is rubbed out of the play there by Cooper Zylstra. The Islanders managed to keep it in. 22 seconds in the period. 5 on the power plays. And paid away by Joey Sylvester. He's made some big saves this period as McPhee hops out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. Another huge penalty kill for the Glace Bay Miners at the tail end of the first frame. Maybe one more chance here for Glace Bay. They're going to shoot it in as the buzzer will go here in Dominion after 15 minutes of play. Jonas Tourette has 2 for the Glace Bay Miners, which is the difference after the first period. 3-1 the score for Glace Bay here in Championship Saturday at the 2026 Nova Scotia Under 15 AA Provincial Hockey Championships here on High Button Sports. We'll be back in just a moment for the second period. And we are back for the second period here at the Dominion Arena. After the first, Glace Bay 3, Cape Breton County 1. 2 goals from Jonas Tourette, another from Spencer Melski for the host team. Cape Breton County responded on the power play, a goal from defenseman Riley Julian. And that's where the score sits right now, heading into an all-important second period here as Ronan McLean tried to skate into the zone there for the County Islanders, is going to lose his stick in the process. Chase on, unable to keep it in the County Islanders' possession as Glace Bay will pass it up and out. And up through the middle of the ice is Matthew Hutt, the captain. In 2-on-1, the shot into the chest pad of Anakin Sillaboy, who made a sharp save to begin the second. Counterattack the other way, 2-on-1 forms. Dulesky, and that's stopped by Joey Sylvester, who handled an equally tricky rebound off of the ever-dangerous Dulesky for the County Islanders. So a couple of plays here in the first 40 seconds of the second period both ways. That's how quick the counterattack can form in the smaller rink. As the draw is won by County and towed away with the left pad of Sylvester. Up through the middle of the ice, off the shin pads to Surratt, and taken away by McKenzie for the County Islanders. Back and forth in the neutral zone as the stick is up on Drew McPhee with Surratt coming to the middle of the ice. Back to goal and blocked as the net goes off in behind Anakin Sillaboy, and the shot directed toward the net by Gold. As the whistle is finally blown for the dislodged net. We've seen that a few times here in this game so far and throughout the weekend as well. The net's part of the charm of the Dominion Arena for sure. The old style net anchors likely. Can't confirm that for sure, but we've seen the goal be dislodged from its moorings a few times here in this game. Centering pass attempt from McPhee is up to center ice. McPhee will return it into the zone. It's pressured there by Ross and taken away by Carmichael for the County Islanders. Big hit thrown there on Keegan Lane Constantino, who will force it into the Glace Bay Miners zone. Lane Constantino kept it in for a second, but the second attempt on the clear from Glace Bay gets out. A slapper from Carmichael will land into the player's equipment of Miles Majich. Majich will skate right up the ice and throws a big crunch on Robertson, and a hit in behind the play, and the whistle will go. And then both referees got the call on that one. And another penalty coming up to Glace Bay. They've taken all 4 penalties here to start this game off, including 3 in the first. And another power play opportunity coming up here for the Cape Breton County Islanders 2 minutes into the second frame. The referees are going to clarify some details at the scorer's bench. But now it looks like we're ready for the face-off. In Miners territory to the right of Joey Sylvester. Taking that face-off is Roman McLean. He wins it clean, and Cape Breton County will get set up on the power play. At the top of the dot is Campbell. We're going down low to Kojil on the far side. At the face-off circle, lets it rip. Looking for the tip on that play was Luke Robertson. He's going to miss it, and the puck will squirt just past the defenseman and all the way back out to the county blue line. Leland McDonald, the spin around pass intended for Robertson. A little bit disjointed and will be sent down the length of the ice by Glace Bay. It's going to be a 4-minute penalty here charged against the Miners. So a extended power play attempt for the County Islanders coming up, as some good pressure is applied there by the Miners' Cooper Zylstra on the penalty kill effort, and will force Anakin Sillaboy to cover up the puck with 12:23 on the clock. It's Colby Kaiser who's in the box for Glace Bay as well. He had a minor penalty of his own for a head contact in the first period, and he'll sit for up to 4 minutes here on this second period penalty kill situation for the Glace Bay Miners. Peyton McKenzie was stationary in behind his net, will now come through the neutral zone, curling to the right side, pursued there by Jonas Surratt and taken down. Another penalty going up here against the Glace Bay Miners, centered for Julian. The shot into the shin pads and a big block against Majich. Majich throws a hit against Julian in the neutral zone. Sillaboy went to the bench, and the Miners were unable to gain possession of the puck. Now they do. It's the goaltender Sylvester touching up. So for a full 2 minutes, the Cape Breton County Islanders are about to go on a 5-on-3 power play. And it's going to be a hooking call, it appears, against Glace Bay. There's 2:35 to go on the first penalty, which was a double minor, and then a full 2 minutes on this minor penalty on the hook. So 5-on-3 for that length of time. McKenzie, far side, Pileski looking down low. The shot missed the net. Riley Julian will retrieve it at the close side point. The triangle collapsing in for the Miners. Matthew Hutt, the penalty killer, at the top. All over Peyton McKenzie, who's at the top of the circles. Over to Dulesky. Let the shot go again. Missed to the close side once more. A puck battle ensues there as the Miners defender is tied up, and Matthew Hutt will skate out of the pressure. Hutt will send it into the zone and get it deep, and a big change here for Glace Bay with another minute 17 to go until the 5-on-3 opportunity expires. Still time here for the County Islanders to get a chance in as Peyton McKenzie will skate it in behind the Miners' net. McKenzie will wheel all the way around the perimeter and leads off for Dulesky. Exchanging passes with McKenzie at the top of the slot. Through traffic, it was blocked by Cam Ferguson and went wide of the net. Dulesky gets his tape on it. Over at the far side, hash marks to McKenzie. McKenzie down on the close side to Julian. Julian will curl back up top and maybe exchange positions with McKenzie. They do at the close side circle. McKenzie, and a penalty coming up, and a slash will be assessed to the Cape Breton County Islanders, ending their 5-on-3. They'll remain on the power play for now, but only for 38 more seconds, as it will be Jansen Chason heading to the penalty box for 2 minutes. So Glace Bay will get an offensive zone power play. 10:20 to play now here in the second period. Draw to the right, Anakin Sillaboy. Ronan McLean, D-zone draw, lost to McPhee of the Miners. And a wicked wrister from Majic at the point is high and off the glass. The Islanders still on the power play for another 25 seconds. It's a 4-on-3 power play, as Cape Breton County will skate it in. Leland McDonald gets it over to Kozel. He'll slow it down as Campbell up top. Kozel lets the shot go right into the chest protector of the goaltender Sylvester. It's a one-and-done opportunity. Set down the length of the ice by Glace Bay, just as Jonas Surrett hops out of the box. So we'll play 4-on-4 action here for the next 30 seconds, and then Glace Bay will get an abbreviated power play. Ronan McLean trying to shake off his man. McDonald gets it up to Kozel, back to McDonald, skating through coverage, and not enough room there as Glace Bay clogged the middle of the ice, and they will now ice it with another 15 seconds to go here in 4-on-4 play, with 9:21 to go here in the second. Two more games after this one today. Halifax Hawks and Bedford Blues playing a crucial game there. Bedford in need of a point or a win. They can virtually book their ticket to the Sunday morning games with a win over Halifax in the next one, as Sylvester makes a big save for the Miners. And then to close out the round-robin action today, Dartmouth Whalers and Pictou County Crushers will go head-to-head. There's going to be a skills competition as well at 2 o'clock, which we'll also have here on the stream when the time comes, as Matthew Hutt will carry it in. Glace Bay now in the power play for 35 seconds. Brought back to the point, Miles Majic lets it go, towed away, rebound, scores! And on the power play, Glace Bay will make it 4-1. And make that 2 on the game for Spencer Melski, going past the outstretched Anakin Sillaboy to extend the Miners' lead to 3 here midway through the second. Now back to 5-on-5 after that power play goal. First time since early in the frame at full strength for both teams. Carmichael backhands it up the middle, is retrieved by Kozel. Kozel curls in on the backhand side. Pressured there closely by the defenseman Ferguson. Ferguson muscles it up to Jonathan McLean, who is crunched along the boards and is down on the ice now. And up the other way, Duncan McKinnon on the dump-in, throws that down along the boards. Jonas Surrett in to retrieve that with the hit, gets it to McKinnon, who throws that through the blue paint, and it is driven away by Sillaboy. Gets a bump up along the boards. Blake Graham cannot hold the line for Glace Bay as they go offside And a little bit of pushing and shoving after the play as well, but nothing further after that one. 8:08 to go in the second. Another one from Spencer Melski, making it a 3-goal lead for the Miners on High Button Sports. Draw outside the County Islanders zone is won by the Islanders. D-to-D pass here going between Peyton McKenzie and Riley Julian. Up from the winger, pass intended for Daleski up toward the far blue line. And gone around was McKinnon, who will throw that into the zone for Glace Bay. Sillaboy opts to play it despite the pressure coming down from the forward checker Jonathan McLean. And McKenzie will take up off the ice. Bay McKenzie likes to skate that puck, will gain the line, looks for the shot, going up top on Sylvester. And he gets the shoulder on that one to fight the puck up and over the crossbar. Taking a check down the corner is McKenzie. The defenseman still down in the corner battling away. Has to retreat to his blue line. Glace Bay trying to get it out. Payne McKenzie will hold it. Got the chase on. Daleski centering pass attempt. Nobody was home for County. Glace Bay will take it up through the middle of the ice. Thrown over to the corner where it's going to be handled by Anakin Sillaboy and thrown around the net. Kept in and alive by the Miners. Matthew Hutt curls around. Has a pair of his teammates waiting in front of the goal. Hutt will work all the way back to the blue line but keeps it alive in the play in. Spencer Melski now on hat-trick watch. Went for the centering pass to Matthew Hutt. Melski has 2 and Joe Thread has 2 to make up the Glace Bay scoring in this hockey game. The County Islanders will get a change in. Carmichael throws it in and stolen up the other way. Cooper Zylstra is rubbed out along the wall. A big hit thrown by Carmichael. And is centered up. And Chason all alone. A 2-on-0 rush. Chason scores! Jansen Chason makes it 4-2 and cuts the lead in half. And the Cape Breton County Islanders make it 4-2. Jansen Chason away on a 2-on-0 opportunity with Daleski. And he makes no mistake, going posting in high over the glove of Joey Sylvester. And it's not over yet. 4-2 now the score with Glace Bay still in the lead by a pair. Going to elude McPhee and it's back to Luke Robertson at the line. It goes back to the Glace Bay defense. McPhee will wheel around and come through the middle of the ice, surrounded by a square of players from the Islanders, and he walked through them and went in on the backhand, and Sillaboy made a nice blocker save. A pair of Glace Bay Miners jamming away at it in the corner, countered by a pair of Islanders out on the one-hand clear, and the line is held by Glace Bay. Returned to the corner by Surratt. Rimmed around, took a funny bounce in front of Sillaboy. No further damage, but it's given away to Gold. The defenseman from the Miners will walk in behind the net and muscle it over to Colby Kaiser. Unable to hold it though. Brought up through the middle as McDonald cleared the zone for County. Brought back to Carmichael. Pursued there closely by Surratt. Now some shenanigans in front of the Glace Bay Miners bench. The shot missed. Picked up by Gold, who holds the line only for a second though as Daleski sends it up the middle. Carmichael couldn't come away with it. The bouncing puck here on the chippy ice late in the second got the best of him. Matthew Hutt to the middle of the ice and the shot up and over the net as he was looking to use the County defenseman as a screen, and it worked, but he missed his mark. And the second attempt shot from the point came off the stick of Majic and missed. Daleski, he's at the end of a shift, but will go in one-on-one on Majic. Daleski curls to the wide side, and an excellent defensive play there by Miles Majic to take Daleski up and out of the play and make life a little easier here for his goaltender Joey Sylvester. 4-2 now the score. The Islanders cut it to 2 here on High Button Sports. Draw coming to the left here of the Glace Bay net, and a collision in the corner. Both arms of the referees are up after that one. It looks like the Cape Breton County Islanders are going to the box here on a boarding call. And there's still a Glace Bay player down in the corner. A trainer is going to come out and check in on him, as his teammates also check in. We'll step aside for just a second. And the hurt Glace Bay player will be helped off the ice here by a coach. The officials are in discussions in their crease in front of the timekeeper's bench. Didn't quite see who the injured player was, but he's going to head to the Glace Bay bench and get a further look from the staff. The referee's still talking in the crease. Typically when they do this, they're getting some perspectives from the linesmen to see if they saw the hit and perhaps if it's worthy of further punishment beyond a minor penalty. The referees are going to put in the word with the timekeeper now, so we'll get a look. The player is now going to head off the ice for Glace Bay now, going to go to the room. It's Blake Graham who got hurt on the play, being helped off the ice and is on his way to the dressing room for Glace Bay. A 5-minute penalty is on the board here against the County Islanders. And that is equally a big loss for the County Islanders. Brandon Daleski receives a 5-minute major and a game misconduct for the board on Blake Graham. So a big loss for each team on that play. And we hope that it's nothing too serious for Blake Graham, who was at the receiving end of that hit. But it's going to be a 5-minute power play coming up for the Glace Bay Miners once we resume play. There's still some discussions going on as the referees clarified the calls with the coaches' benches. Going to be a quick players meeting at the Glace Bay bench. But now they'll get ready to play. This power play will take up the remainder of the second period. And with Glace Bay in the driver's seat, still up by 2 goals, they have a chance to restore their 3-goal lead and possibly put this game out of reach on the County Islanders. There's still a stoppage going on here. They need a player from County to serve the penalty for Daleski. And that player will be Dallin Campbell, who will sit in the box for the 5 minutes. And a face-off to the right, Anakin Sillaboy in the Cape Breton zone. One back by Glace Bay, and the Miners will get set up. This will be their first full power play of the game. They had a 35-second one earlier in the second period. And it wasn't a long one, but they still managed to score a goal on it, so they're 1 for 1 on the man advantage this morning. It's worked down in the corner for Cooper Zylstra, working the far side half wall. Zylstra takes a return pass from Mason Reed to Zylstra, centering pass, scores! So the hats on the ice, Glace Bay. Spencer Milski again, the hat trick, and the 5-2 lead for the Miners. And there was indeed a hat thrown on the ice in the corner toward the Islanders zone. I think there was only one here, so maybe not as many hats in the crowd as I would have first figured. It's going to be picked up by the linesman. And Spencer Milski putting up a big game today here for the Glace Bay Miners. And they restore their lead to 3. And that goal came only 40 seconds into the major penalty power play. So still another 4:13 on the man advantage to go here for the Glace Bay Miners. McPhee will take it into the zone. Thrown into the corner. Luke Robertson is pinned up there along the wall by Drew McPhee. Now pressured by Colby Kaiser. Kaiser gets it over to Jonas Threat. And the Miners are set up again. Threat at the top of the circle. He himself trying to get a hat trick as he has 2 on the game. So maybe we'll see a couple more hats here next time. Going to switch positions with Drew McPhee. Waits in front of the Glace Bay bench. Over to Majic. From the point is going to be handled by Anakin Silaboy, who will cover up as Carmichael throws a couple of shoves in front of the net on a Miners attacker. 3:35 still remaining on this power play. 3:10 in the period. Draw to the left of Silaboy. And the draw is won on the penalty kill by Jacob Ross. Ross crunched along the boards. There was a County Islanders player on the ice. McPhee gets possession back. Ferguson holds the line. Goes D to D over to Bertram Gold. Going to stutter step. Cross ice pass onto the tape of Kaiser. Barely bouncing off his stick and stolen by Carmichael in behind the County Islanders net. As they attempt to get it out, it's going to hit some heavy snow in front of the Miners bench, though, as Jason threw the return hit. Carmichael has to retreat in behind his own goal. Second clear attempt for Jason doesn't go. And the third time back to Carmichael, who will take matters into his own hands and is still unable to clear. The Islanders struggling to get the puck out of their zone on the long change. Ferguson walks in, blasted over the net and wide. Jason, fourth attempt on the clear. It will trickle across the line. The ice really slowing down here in the last few minutes as it's getting choppy. And a penalty coming up here. Glace Bay guilty of a cross-check according to the referees. So, for the majority of the remaining of the second period, we're going to get some more 4-on-4 action here before the Zamboni break. Face-off will come to the left to Joey Sylvester. And Matthew Hutt, the Glace Bay captain, will win the face-off in his own zone. Stutter step by Miles Majic. Goes D to D. Majic back with it under some pressure from a County Islanders forechecker. Ronan McLean buzzing around the Miners zone. And Matthew Hutt is up through the middle of the ice with it. Will enter the County zone. Hutt swings in behind the net and looks up top at his options. Is going to hit Reed with the pass. Lets it go through traffic. And Anakin Silaboy makes a good save for the stop. Cooper Zylstra was posted right on top of the net, providing a bit of a screen and some havoc in favor of the Miners. We're down to 96 seconds in the second period. As has been the case every game this tournament, going to be a flood between the second and the third periods, as a Miners player will go down behind the play, with the County Islanders icing the puck. Glace Bay fighting for that first seed position and a spot in one of tomorrow's semifinal games. The first versus fourth place seeds will play in the 8:30 a.m. semifinal, followed by the 10:30 semifinal with the other two teams, and the championship game scheduled for 2 o'clock here tomorrow afternoon in Dominion. Skated up the ice by Riley Julian. He will gain the zone but collides with his teammate Kojal. It's kept in the zone but taken away by Glace Bay. Just over a minute to go in the second period, and another minute on the Glace Bay penalty before they go back to an abbreviated power play of their own, which will likely come in the third period. Majic will skate it himself in behind the County net. Majic stutter stepping Peyton McKenzie. Good one-on-one battle between defenders deep in the County zone. Aggressive pinch here by Melski, tied up by a pair of County Islanders in the corner to the left to Silaboy. 40 seconds now remain in the period. McKenzie was eyeing up the stretch pass. He's going to get it, but Kojal doesn't have a lot of space to operate. Melski, the hat-trick scorer here today for the Glace Bay Miners. 2 of those goals coming on the man advantage for the Miners this morning. Melski is going to lose it, though, at his own blue line. He gets it back. He's static on his feet, though, trying to skate away from Ross on the play. 13 seconds down the frame as Matthew Hutt will wheel out of danger with Ross breathing down his neck. Ross throws a hit on Hutt, and a stick goes flying beyond the play and a penalty as Cape Breton County Islanders' Jacob Ross goes to pick it up. It looks like his appeal for a penalty worked. The Glace Bay Miners will head back to the penalty box here. Looks like only 4 seconds left in the second period. Glace Bay had just killed off their last penalty, in which we were at 4-on-4 action for the last couple minutes of that period. And the Miners will win the draw and bring an end to the second period, with the Miners extending their lead to 3 goals here. A Spencer Melski hat-trick and 2 more from Jonas Rett leading the scoring here after 2 periods for the Miners. 15 minutes away from sealing the number 1 seed here in their host rink at Dominion Arena. We'll be back in 10 minutes or so for the third period. You're watching the 2026 Nova Scotia Under 15 AA Provincial Hockey Championships on High Button Sports. And we are back for period 3 on High Button Sports. You are watching the 2026 Nova Scotia Under 15 AA Provincial Hockey Championships. After 2 periods of play, the Glace Bay Miners taking control here on home ice, leading by a 5-2 score over cross Cape Breton rivals, the Cape Breton County Islanders. Spencer Melski, the hat trick with a pair of power play goals and another one. And 2 more added by Jonas Rhett. Responses coming from the Islanders include goals from Chason and Riley Julian in response. And the Islanders have to formulate a big effort here in the 3rd period if they want to keep their season alive. Losing not an option for them this one, as out of the 7-team field, they find themselves out of the top 4 right now, which means they will be outside the cutoff here, as this is their final round-robin game. So season on the line here for the Cape Breton County Islanders, and a chance to lock up the top seed here on home ice in the tournament heading into tomorrow morning's semi-final games for the Glace Bay Miners, so something significant as well for them to play for too. Surratt, the shot for the point, kicked away by Anakin Sillaboy, but he lost a little bit of sight on it as it hit his left pad but rolled over to his right side. Hit with the pass up at the line is Ronan McLean. McLean waiting for the center as Carmichael took the ice. Going to be a power play ongoing here for the Cape Breton County Islanders. Keep in mind that the Islanders are playing without one of their top players, Brandon Dulesky, for the rest of the game. He was ejected for a major penalty on a board in the 2nd. So they'll be missing his touch. He's been a big part of the scoring here this weekend for the County Islanders, as a perimeter shot from McKenzie is into the breadbasket of Joey Sylvester. The draw's going to come here to his right now. Another minute and 2 on the penalty against Glace Bay's Matthew Hott. McLean taking the face-off for the County Islanders. And Cape Breton will get set up. McKenzie at the top of the slot, lets it go through traffic. Rebound, scores! Jansen Chason finds the back of the net. A power play goal for Cape Breton, and they pull within 2. And then this comeback bid for the Islanders, they needed an early one, and it's Jansen Chason finding the back of the net against a disoriented Sylvester. And make that 2 on the man advantage today for the County Islanders. So we get the draw here at center ice. Back to even strength. Now 5-on-5. McKenzie trying to fork that puck up to the opposing blue line. D-to-D pass finds Baxter for Glace Bay. Baxter in through the feet of Spencer Melski. Up through the middle for Dilstra. And Hutt tried to jab away at it on the lost puck in front of Anakin Sillaboy's net. Baxter went for the hit, was a little too slow on Campbell, and it's sent down in the Glace Bay zone. Almost stripped the possession there by Jacob Ross. So he was buzzing in behind the net on the forecheck, but Glace Bay gets it back up the center where Julian will play it back down low. Baxter goes D-to-D for the Glace Bay Miners, as up over the tape of Melski and sent down the length of the short Dominion ice here for an icing call against the Glace Bay Miners. 3:15 to go here in the 3rd period. Face off deep in Glace Bay territory. And Surratt will go to the circle in the D zone. Going up against Ronan McLean, and McLean wins the draw. County gets set up in the O zone, but only for a second. Is chopped up out of the zone by Duncan McKinnon. McKinnon gets it over to Surratt. Will he stay onside? No, he will not, as McLean shot it a little late there. It takes a shove from a County Islanders player. Wasn't really a shot, but nonetheless, the County Islanders took exception to that. And the face-off will come outside. Just about 2 minutes into the new period. Just a moment ago, Jansen Chason on the power play to make it a 5-3. The Islanders closing the deficit back to 2. Surratt will enter the zone this time onside. Lets a shot go. Scores! twin hat tricks. Surratt with his third of the game. 6-3 Glace Bay. Two different hat tricks for the Glace Bay Miners. Spencer Milski has 3, and Jonas Surratt now has 3, with a howler of a shot from just inside the blue line over the shoulder of Sillaboy to restore the 3-goal advantage for the Glace Bay Miners in the third period. Wow, what a rocket from Surratt. Carmichael spins that up and out of the zone, gets it to Chase on. McLean in pursuit for County, and Gold will spin off his coverage. Up the wall to Majic, who was posted at the left wing position. Second attempt out by Baxter, didn't work, and is slammed back into the corner by the County Islanders. Giving chase is McLean, and over on the other side, Kozel. It's going to elude the both of them. Poked back into the zone and touched up for an offside by the County Islanders that could possibly be deemed by the linesman as an intentional offside. We'll see what the call is here as Kozel slapped the puck. Exiting the zone. Looks like the draw will stay in front of the Miners bench, according to the linesman. And it's a tie-up. Won by the Miners. Back to the defenseman. And walking up through the pressure was Ferguson, who got it all the way to center and slapped back to the forward Duncan McKinnon, who will retreat in behind his own net. The pass from range is picked up by Jonathan McLean. Steered there on the backhand and corralled by McKenzie, and the shot out front for Glace Bay, as attempting to get the shot off was Baxter in front of the net, and some commotion going on. The whistle will go. Looks like a call from the back official. The signal appears to be a minor penalty against both players, so some coincidentals. Going to get some pleading here from both of the benches otherwise. As coincidental rust looks to be the call. So we'll stay at 5-on-3 with the draw coming in front of the County Islanders players bench, which has become pretty short here, as County is dealing with some injuries and suspensions, and now the ejection of Brandon Dulesky from the hockey game. However, in that time, it's a good sign. Blake Graham has returned to the game. And now we're going to get an ejection of one of the fans here from the Glace Bay stands. The referee signals for a spectator to leave the building here before we continue play. So the spectator will make his way out of the building as we prepare to return to play here. I believe that's the first time a fan has been thrown out of the game here at these provincial championships. And he's still there and behind the glass. The referee in behind Anakin Sillaboy's net, waving the finger in the direction of the door. As we wait to resume play. And the arena door will open and the puck will be dropped. Won by the Glace Bay Miners. Still 5-on-5 hockey after all of that. As I was mentioning, Blake Graham, he was hurt in the second period off that Dulesky hit. He is back out on the ice on the blue line for the Glace Bay Miners. So as Glace Bay loads up for a run at the provincial championship, that is a promising sign to have that player in their lineup. As Cape Breton County will take it back the other way. Ross hits the brakes, looking for the centering pass as his teammate Lane Constantino was tied up in the middle of the ice. Peyton McKenzie has to backtrack and exchanges a one-touch pass with the County Islanders captain Carmichael, who will bolt it up toward center ice. Log jam here in the neutral zone, so it's going to work its way back down to the County Islanders blue line. Carmichael has to backpedal, but his players are going for a change. They have to check up to avoid the too many men call, and breaking into the zone is the Miners, with it was briefly stolen there by McPhee. And a perimeter shot from Chason, who had a goal earlier in the third period for the County Islanders on the power play. We'll throw that into the glove of Joey Sylvester for an easy save from long range. 10:52 to play now in the third period. I'm only counting 5 players remaining on the County Islanders bench, plus 1 in the penalty box, as one of their players was guilty of a coincidental minor here a couple of moments ago. And it's a shot from the point. There's an Islanders player down now, and the shot as Matthew Hutt broke in for the Miners, and now the play will be blown dead as there's a Cape Breton player hurt near his bench in the Islanders defensive zone. He is favoring one of his legs as the trainer will come out to look at him. With 10.5 to play here in the third period, we'll step aside for a second as the trainer checks him out. And hobbling to the bench with some assistance from his teammates is Ronan McLean. He's going to head to the players' bench here. He blocked a shot from the Glace Bay point, and it appeared to take it inside the knee area. And hopefully that's not too serious for Ronan McLean, but he will get looked at by the staff, and we will continue play with a draw to the left of Syliboy. Face-off is won back by Glace Bay in the O-zone off the shoulder of Anakin Syliboy. It bounced right up the middle, and the stretch pass well offside. So Dallin Campbell has to retreat. Picked up by the Miners in behind their own net. Played up by Melski, who couldn't take it very far. Hutt will pick it up inside the line and finds Melski up the middle of the ice. The puck was bouncing on him though, so the Islanders are back into the zone with it. Hutt will slow it down, and a funny bounce off the end boards. Joey Sylvester had to be ready for that one. Over the left wing, held in to the zone by Carmichael, and the shot missed the net. Jacob Ross throws a check, or maybe he doesn't. He missed his target from Glace Bay altogether as the Miners escape the defensive zone. Now Gold, the defenseman, in pursuit of the puck deep in County zone, and it hit the side of the net, or it hit Syliboy, one or the other, as a wild slapper from close range for Zylstra did not go in. Gold on the no-look spin, taken away by Carmichael. Now the stretch passing up with numbers, return to Carmichael, breaking in for the shot, and sticked away. A good stick lift by Gold, and behind the play, an excellent job by the Glace Bay Miners defenseman. Unable to clear now as Kojal will throw a centering pass intended for Chason, or rather Dallin Campbell, my mistake, but nonetheless he's unable to pull the trigger in the slot area. Hutt will get it up to Zylstra, and a change will be registered by the Glace Bay Miners. 8:52 to go here in the third period. The Miners restore their 3-goal lead on the merit of a Jonas Surrett goal, the hat-trick goal for Surrett, who has dominated this weekend for the Miners offense, and it's off a player in behind the Miners net, a wildly ricocheting puck, and will now be directed right onto Anakin Syliboy's net at the other end. So no icing call will come out of that as Luke Robertson will backhand it up for McKenzie, but all 3 forwards down the ice for the Miners, putting in an aggressive forecheck here as Duncan McKinnon tries to chip that to his teammate. That is airlifted a little too high here. The low roof at the Dominion Arena, it's off the roof truss here, and the faceoff will remain inside the County Islanders zone with 8:15 to play here in the third period. Glace Bay Miners 8 minutes away from sealing the top seed in the provincial championship. Face-off is won back by the County Islanders in the D-zone draw. Here comes Rowan Carmichael. He is pursued on the back check closely by Spencer Baxter and knocks Carmichael off the puck. He dodges a big check there from the Glace Bay Miners, Majic, and Glace Bay is up the ice with it. McKinnon couldn't hold the line though, as Julian will center it out front. Here comes Lane Constantino, centered up, and the shot after the whistle goes, and a hit thrown there after the whistle goes as Jacob Ross tried to get the shot off just as the whistle was blown for the offside. by the linesman. Approaching the midway point of the third frame here, 7:48 on the clock. Following this one, the Halifax Hawks and the Bedford Blues will square off. The Hawks have a pretty good shot to make it into Sunday at this point, but will want to come out with the win to secure that. Meanwhile, the Bedford Blues are in a logjam in the standings. One of three teams with 3 points in the third, fourth, and fifth positions. So to really seal their spot, they'll be looking to come home with a victory to make it into Sunday. And then later today, the Pictou County Crushers and the Dartmouth Whalers will close out round-robin action here at the Provincial Championships. As the County Islanders got a couple of checks in, and a hit beyond the play by Baxter. He knocks Julian to the ice. That's going to be a penalty, as the back official will call it. And there was a player on the ice. Slow to get up for the County Islanders. Baxter will head to the box. The referees are still figuring out the situation. There was a coach from the County Islanders who came way out. It's not entirely clear if he was going to help a player or if he was angry about the hit. He is angry, definitely about something. But nonetheless, his team will get a power play out of the whole commotion. A 4-minute power play at that. Might have been a hit to the head call against Spencer Baxter. As the Glace Bay Miners will win the face-off back on the penalty kill. Has spent a lot of time in this game killing penalties. Hasn't harmed them on the scoreboard, but has conceded in 2 additional County Islanders goals, but sent down the length of the ice by Glace Bay. Exchanging some words in behind the play were a player from each team. McKenzie enters the zone for County. The reverse pass over to Ronan McLean. The shot is blocked. McLean went off hurt a few minutes ago after blocking the shot. Looks like he's all right now. He's out on the first power play unit for the County Islanders. Spinning back and forth with it on the far side is Riley Julian. Up at the top of the circle and batted away nicely by Joey Sylvester, who saw it through the crowd. 3 minutes to go here on this latest County Islanders power play. It was a double minor penalty to Spencer Baxter of the Glace Bay Miners. Julian to the far side. McKenzie through a crowd and knocked away. Cleared down the ice by Glace Bay. Approaching 6 minutes remaining in the third period. 2:45 now on the County power play. Peyton McKenzie skates it into the zone. First power play unit stays out there as McKenzie cut in and a block, and favoring their sore after that one was Cam Ferguson, who was favoring his right foot after that one, much to his thankfulness, as he will earn himself a change for his team. Now 5:52 on the clock. The net went off there to explain the reason for the play being blown dead. Jacob Ross for the power play unit will take the face off, but is going to lose it to his center ice counterpart Matthew Hutt from Glace Bay. Hutt worked it beyond the net for Majic, who fails to clear. It's taken away by the County Islanders. Open side for Kozel, and Lane Constantino couldn't get the puck to him. Drop back to Campbell, who walks in with the shot up high and reaching up. And a big save from Joey Sylvester. Calm and collected here in this third frame, holding down the fort for the Glace Bay Miners late in the game. The draw will remain inside the Glace Bay zone. Now 2:14 to play. The first half of that double minor almost elapsed against the Glace Bay Miners. Racing into the corner is a Miners player who is then taken down on the check from Robertson. Campbell winded up for the shot, but William Kozel, his teammate, took it instead. Kozel will wait, and on the one-timer attempt, Campbell centered in front. Lane Constantino couldn't deflect that home in the slot area as Kozel waiting at the top of the umbrella formation on the power play. Let's go! Scores! And a tip downwards from Luke Robertson to bring it back within 2 with 5:02 to play in the third. And it's a high-scoring hockey game here. And now Luke Robertson of the Cape Breton County Islanders will get in on it. It ain't over till it's over in playoff time. And 2 goals is, as they say, the most dangerous lead in hockey. The County Islanders will be leaning on that superstition here in the final 5 minutes of this game as they try to get a comeback bid together to keep their season alive. The Miners in on the odd man rush, taken by Cooper Zylstra into the zone. The Miners all game have had a response for every Cape Breton County Islanders goal, including from Spencer Melski and Jonas Rett, with 3 goals each for the Miners in this one. Twin hat-tricks to give them the 2-goal lead. At this point, the line is held by Glace Bay in the tip, and Kinsilleboy will fight that one off. Chase on the outlet pass, and numbers the other way, staying on line for the County Islanders. McLean in, and the shot is wide of the net as he is muscled off the puck by the Miners defense. In tight, McKenzie. Oh, what a shoulder save by Joey Sylvester. He's been playing fantastically in this third period despite giving up 2, and he is keeping the Miners in the driver's seat here so far. Around the net for Chason. Chason has a goal in this game for Cape Breton County. He is contested for the puck up along the wall in a physical one, thrown back down in the corner by Dallin Campbell. Campbell will join the battle as a rugby scrum emerged between 2 players aside, and is skipped up and over the short glass here at the Dominion Arena. 3:46 to go here, not quite over yet, but the Miners are ahead by 2 coming to crunch time in Dominion. Face-off going to come to the left of the goaltender, or to the right of the goaltender, rather, Sylvester, as the shot was deflected wide from the Cape Breton County Islanders' point. The Miners' Jonathan McLean is squeezed to the boards by the defense. Returned to the corner by Reed as Anakin Kinsilleboy tries to handle the funny bounce off the inboard corner as it is up off the board. Should be an icing call here coming against the County Islanders, down to 3:19 on the clock in this one. Draw to the left of the County net. It's Jonas Rett, maybe looking for goal number 4 now. Already has 3 on the game. Really showing off that shot in this one, especially on that hat-trick goal, a missile over the high blocker. Lane Costantino takes a hit up the middle, and Glace Bay will go to the box here once play resumes. It did look high, and they're going to take exception after the whistle goes. A pair of County Islanders in there in exception to the big hit thrown in open ice at the blue line, and it looks like a penalty will be coming up against Jonas Rett, making his way to the penalty box for Glace Bay. A head contact penalty will be the call. Will it be 2 or 4? We've seen a little bit of both today, but nonetheless a huge power play coming up for the County Islanders, with the status of the game potentially at stake here. It's only going to be 2 charged as threat on the head contact penalty, so ruled an accidental head contact by the officials. 3:08 on the clock, and a 2-minute power play. The unit back out there. Anakin Kinsilleboy has vacated the net for the County Islanders, so they got 6 attackers out there as the Miners will shoot it down the length of the ice. McKenzie hustling back as Spencer Melski is breathing down his neck on the forecheck here for the penalty kill unit. The 6-on-4 attack will get set up here for Glace Bay. Riley Julian tees it up for McKenzie. Tried to wheel up one side, but Melski closes off the ice on him. Melski now going up against the penalty killer. McPhee will skate into the zone and is knocked off the puck. Ran out of time and space there on the entry. Glace Bay thinking about going. Over skating the puck was the player from Cape Breton County, Jacob Ross, and is kept in the line by the Islanders. It is sticked aside. A good save by Joey Sylvester to knock it away from the net front, and it is sent out down the ice. And of course, no icing as the Glace Bay Miners are on the penalty kill for the next minute and 5 seconds. 2 minutes to go now. The Islanders trying to formulate a late comeback here as they trail by 2 to the Glace Bay Miners, but Glace Bay not giving them much space here on the penalty kill. Jason enters the zone. The Islanders will get set up to the middle of the ice. Shot missed. Rebound. Ross tried to work it out front. Fanned on the clear. Jason holds the line. And a hit attempt. And down the ice. Scores! And that will ice it. Colby Kaiser into the open net with a minute and 49 to play. It'll also count as a shorthanded goal. But that will all but secure this one for the Glace Bay Miners in a barn burner of a battle at Cape Breton with 11 goals and counting, 7 of them coming from Glace Bay. That will not only make the host Glace Bay Miners the number 1 seed heading into the semifinals, but all but ending the season for the Cape Breton County Islanders. Another minute 35 to play though. McKenzie skating out there. Will go up to the point for Ross. Back down to the wall where Jason goes for the centering pass looking for Kojo at the far side. Kojo is rubbed off the puck as Ross cannot hold the line for the County Islanders. 5 seconds before the end of the County power play. Jonas Rett prepares to jump out of the box, and now he does. Anakin Sillaboy will remain in the Islanders' net. So 5-on-5 action here for the final minute of play. The Glace Bay Miners will watch the standings closely to see who they draw tomorrow. It'll be the number 4 seed in the tournament in tomorrow's 8:30 a.m. semifinal for the host team. And a big hit at the line. Kojo going after McLean, so do a couple other players. McLean is held there by a linesman as William Kojo did not like that bump there at the blue line. And McLean will head to the box for Glace Bay. And I think that is where the only penalty will go. If there is one at all, maybe it wasn't assessed when he went to the penalty box and then jumped out of the box and went to the players' bench. There's going to be a discussion between the referees and the scorekeepers here. Only 49 seconds to play here in Glace Bay. The clock ticking down. The Miners, of course, maybe want to be a little extra careful as they will play tomorrow morning on Sunday. Don't want to lose any additional players. As the County Islanders will post-mortem their season here. There's going to be an Islanders player heading off the ice. That's William Kojo heading to the dressing room. Clearly not happy about that. Gesturing a little bit to the Glace Bay cheering section. Going to get some cheers and jeers in return. And another player leaving the game for the Miners. Jonathan McLean off the ice. I believe it's just some coincidental Miners sending them off to the game, so no matter how you shape it, they won't be back in this game. Of course, in McLean's case, we'll be back with the Miners tomorrow morning in the semifinal as it's handled by Joey Sylvester. So that leaves just 5 players on the County Islanders bench, playing short-handed in this one. Although it's full strength here on the ice, 5-on-5 to end off the hockey game. Notwithstanding any more fireworks between these Cape Breton rivals. The County Islanders had won the last 3 games heading into this one against Glace Bay Miners. But Glace Bay will win the one that matters here at the Provincial Championships. It's received by Lane Constantino in the Islanders zone. Glace Bay will take it down. Matthew Hutt throws it back down to the corner and retrieved by Drew McPhee. McPhee takes a bump by Carmichael, the Islanders captain. A little bit of intensity taken off the play with 13 seconds left to go. A little bit of rubbing and going along the boards. It's directed and sticked away by Sillaboy. It'll stay in play. But that'll run down the clock here in Dominion. And the Glace Bay Miners lock down the number 1 seed in the 2026 Provincial Championships here on home ice in Dominion. A big 7-4 win over the Cape Breton County Islanders, who will conclude their season here in Dominion. The lineup for handshakes at center ice. And then we will stay tuned for the Player of the Game awards that will come afterward. So twin hat tricks from Spencer Melski, Jonas Surrett, some very timely saves from Joey Sylvester, making the difference in this one. As the Miners have put on a show here for their hometown crowd in Dominion this weekend. As we throw it down the ice for Player of the Game honors.
Player of the Game for the County Islanders, number 22, Peyton McKenzie.
McKenzie, Player of the Game honors for the Cape Breton County Islanders. In on a couple of the goals here for that team.
And Player of the Game for the Glace Miners, number 8, Jonas.
And another big game for Jonas Surrett. Adds another 3 goals to his tournament total here today. An instrumental part of putting this game away for the Glace Bay Miners, who will now shift their focus to the provincial semifinals, awaiting the number 4 seed in the tournament tomorrow morning. We'll find that out today as we have 2 more games to play here in the tournament round robin at the 2026 Nova Scotia Provincial Under 15 AA Hockey Championships here in Glace Bay. Stay tuned for the next ones here. Next up, the Halifax Hawks and the Bedford Blues here on High Button Sports. My name is Luke Diamond. Thank you for tuning in here for this one. A lot more action to come here this weekend in Dominion.